I'd just get on and be like, oh, so where are you guys at, huh? Don't see you yet. Nobody watching. It's 10 o'clock on the dot.
Well, there we go. 10 p.m. on the dot. I just started it. I don't know what's up about Audacity. That is so weird. All the forums are saying it's something to do with all right. Now, I don't like when I'm in this event thing is I can't see how many people are watching. I can see the total number, but not breaking down by channel. But I think it gets the word out better. Transitioning for countdown. Only because Graham's not there and it's funny. No, stay there, stay there.
There, go back.
Although I think what's hysterical is the audio was going that whole time. Graham, you can just show up. I realized I didn't mute it. Oh, I'm a dork.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Live on the intro nets. All right. Yeah, this new system is wacky.
You did get your paper to write your...
It's already
news
written.
Already written, yeah.
It's already written.
Yeah.
And there's no bet because it's FA Cup.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. I was just wanting to make sure you had that part there, you know, because you were making your way downtown, walking fast.
He's
You're
a
not a seagull, and they fucked yourself.
Do.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so earlier when we were checking cameras, Graham was like, "Oh, but posture was great," and then now he's like, "I'm fucking tired, bro."
All right. I'll be up then.
Although the hair's just flip up the hair a little bit.
So did
There you go.
did the middle child make falling asleep difficult tonight?
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it.
No, because Avery went to sleep so early. Carly went in and took Cameron. I had the monitor with me downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Printed my notes out. Shot 2 rounds of darts while the notes were printing.
There you go.
Went upstairs, cleaned the kitchen. And then by that time, it was like 9:02. I ran the monitor upstairs to her so she could hear her from Cameron's room if she needed to.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, love you, see ya.
Nice. Very good.
Left, and I forgot to text you when I left the house. That's why I was like, oh, shit, he doesn't know I'm coming yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to be on time.
Yeah.
So I texted you as I was hitting 97.
Right. He's coming right for us. Oh. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. So I'm here. Bang.
Bang.
So go ahead, delete all those memes you put up of me. You bunch
Are
of
there new
pricks.
ones? I wasn't looking.
There was one where Ivan Toney was Sam and I was the ball. And it said Houston about to blast Sam into orbit because he's late again or something.
Yep. Me moving the.
Did you see the elect Salmon for the podcast? For your podcast? That was one of the ones that Christian did.
Yep.
I totally want to save that with his permission and use it for like an ad, like later.
I didn't see that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was a good
I
one.
thought that was funny.
Yeah, the closed group was very active. I was pretty happy with all of it. Enjoyed it. So, any kids? Hold on one sec.
So yeah, so this was this new way, since we're doing behind the scenes, I can see that everything's streaming. It's telling me it's streaming. I can see the total number of people watching.
Okay.
I just can't see the channel breakdown.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Christian gave me permission. Thank you. So I don't know. Do you think you like it better in the event versus the sharing?
I like it as the event. Yeah.
I think supposedly it creates an event everywhere.
Okay,
So we'll just do this from now on.
I can tell you right now on the old X.
And look at that. It's 10:04.
Yep.
And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 beverages and a vape pen.
What a fucking prick.
Who?
Taylor.
What do you do now?
It's
Show it to the camera.
It's Stewie.
Uh-huh.
and it's a gif of him getting really excited. Right?
Yeah.
And the caption is, when it's only 30 minutes until you have to only wait another 20 minutes for your favorite podcast to start their weekly 9 p.m. stream.
Nice. Mel, only thing that showed up on Twitter was 5 minutes ago, the start of the show.
Okay.
No, not anything
It
else
may not
beyond
do an
that.
event like it. X is weird. But I definitely did one in Facebook and in the Facebook group, and I'm assuming on Twitch, and it does it on YouTube as well. So the ones that matter.
Got it.
And as soon as you're ready to dump Twatcher, we can always add Discord. Doesn't do we still have a Discord for DU Football Show?
We do still have a Discord for DU Football
We can
Show.
do the live stream in the Discord.
Gotta ask Smokey how to get in, though.
And we only need 922 new followers, and we can do it live on TikTok.
Yeah, come on, people. Follow us on TikTok. If you have the app, just follow us. You don't got to watch anything. Just follow it. God damn it.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
All right, let's go ahead and do a show.
Hey, I'm doing really good in the stock market right now.
Well, good for you.
Fucking sweet. I'm like a regular Warren Buffett over here.
Glad to hear that, bro. Good job, man.
What is
Finance, bro.
What are things not to say before we plug our Patreon?
Precisely.
Hi, I'm Tegan Graham, aka The Better Graham, and this is the DU Football Show.
I know she texted y'all.
No, she didn't text me. I just
really?
decided to go with that one.
Okay, she told me she was going to text you.
No, I didn't get a text from her at all.
All right, good.
So I just decided to go with that instead. I
Nice.
just thought, nice little dig for you,
Thanks.
because your daughter wanted to learn how to play poker, and I financed her as opposed to you because, you're a bad father. It's
I
just
got
how
3
things
kids to
go.
feed.
Well, let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the other half of the English Premier League's action is told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and fresh off of paying me $80 on Venmo, my co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham. How you doing, bud?
Doing very well because I bought a bunch of Spirit Airlines stock dirt cheap on Tuesday when everything was about to, the ass end was falling out of it. So I made $300 today.
I would hurry up and sell that because it's going to be worth a penny in a few days.
As I'm getting there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we'll give it one more day, see how it goes.
Yeah.
By the way, patreon.com/DU Football Show. That $300 only keeps us alive for 2 more weeks.
As they did on...
We need your sustained and concerted effort to keep the show going. Thank you very much.
Did on SNL for Alaska Airlines for the window falling out. They were like all the consider it the adventure ride now. We'll just won't have a roof
Adventure park,
right,
yeah.
or anything like that. And the very end of it, Alaska Airlines. Hey, we're still better than Spirit. And of course, on the ones and twos, producer Mel. How you doing over there, producer Mel?
Pretty good. I like the tagline Alaska Airlines, but you didn't die.
Yeah.
Nobody
bad.
died. Nobody died.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Alaska Airlines. We've all lost a shirt before. We're recorded at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, streaming live every single Monday night. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Of course, it's at DU Football Show on all the social medias and DUFootballShow at gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Very good. And, of course, not just all the other socials, of course, TikTok as well.
Yes,
and,
TikTok, we're there.
X and
You see Big
Instagram.
Sam
and,
doing a dance maybe one day soon?
maybe, only if you're lucky. But there's only one person I know in this room that I've seen do a TikTok dance, and neither one of them have the last name Houston. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we've got to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham going back in the list because we finally got it in.
Yes.
And it fortunately came in today. Tell us all about it. Doing a little Irish today.
We are. By way of Portland, it's Ranier. That's the first of many references. This is the Green Spot Quails Gate. Coming in at number 16. This is the one that we had to skip a couple of weeks ago because it hadn't come in yet. So here we go. You're at 92 proof on this one. That's 46% by volume for those of you counting at home. Should run you roughly $70 on the shelf, according to the Advocate's suggested retail price. Got a panel rating of 93 points and is an Irish single pot still. Your blurb comes from David Fleming this week of the Whiskey Advocate tasting panel. This Green Spot Expression is the third bottling in its Wine Geese series, a tribute to the Irish diaspora. That it's finished for 16 months in Pinot Noir casks from British Columbia winemakers Quails Gate, owned by the Stewart family, whose ancestors emigrated from Ireland to Canada over a century ago. There's nice spiciness on the nose, followed by a palette of abundant spice flavors, along with red apple, cherry, berries, candied orange, lemon, and vanilla. The spice isn't quite done yet, as it punctuates a pleasantly balanced finish. Now, I will say that I don't necessarily agree entirely with that palate. Spiciness, yes, but I get more like honey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you,
I get citrus. I get some lemon in there.
but it might just be the way that orange, what he describes as orange and vanilla, maybe kind of playing together with that spiciness where I come up with honey. But it just tasted more like honey to me.
So this
like
is
fresh honeycomb.
This is the third time I've had a whiskey done in Pinot Noir casks. The first one I ever had was when Woodford did their master collection. They did a Sonoma Cutrer Pinot Noir because, those you don't know, owned by Brown Forman. Brown Forman owns Sonoma Cutrer along with Woodford Reserve. And then the second one would be the Pinot Noir cask from Westward. And then this would be the third. So each time it has been a different base, right? So the case of the Woodford, it's a corn base primarily.
Yep.
In the case of the Westward, it's 100% barley. In the case of this is a pot still. It is 70% barley and then 30% column stilled neutral spirit. And that barley, by the way, has to be through a pot. It has to be through a copper pot still.
Right.
I'm getting fruit and sweet. I'm not getting dry and earth like I got from Westward, right? So when I think Pinot Noir, I don't think jammy, sweet, or fruity. I think more subtle fruit tones, more earth notes, right? That's typically what you get from a Pinot Noir. Whereas if I'm doing, say, a Cabernet or a Syrah, you know, those tend to be jammier, and those I expect that bigger fruit too. So,
see, my experience with traditional still wine finished whiskeys, I always find them to be much hotter than most others, and a lot of times that fruit doesn't necessarily develop for me.
yeah.
I think back to the Pritchard's Hill Cabernet cask finished Jeffersons that we had a few years ago. It just almost felt like the proof was super intense in the star rather than the cask finish. The Pinot Noir cask finish from Westward was a bit drier.
Much drier.
Yeah. But conversely, when we do a fortified wine finish, a sherry or a port, you and I tend to agree, at least in most cases, that the desserty qualities of those fortified wines tends to affect the whiskey a bit more. So you get a bit more of that chocolate or that almond, sort of kind of dark, ripe fruit really stands out in those whiskeys versus traditional still wine finished whiskeys.
Well, the Old Elk that we had just recently had.
Right, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
you really got
Or
that.
that 18-year-old whistle pig that Justin bought.
Yeah, that very plummy kind of flavor to
Exactly.
it as well. Very.
Yep.
It's don't get me wrong. I like it. I'm just comparing the three, and so far there hasn't really been a consistent thread on them.
Yeah.
Other than with the Westward one, I felt like it was more representative of the wine barrel that you're using. Pinot Noir is a very specific wine. It's a very tricky wine. It's not
And
your
depending where the grapes grown, depending
True.
on that terroir, whether it be Old World or New World, is completely different. I mean, you think of Russian River Valley Pinot Noirs versus Burgundy Pinot Noirs, and there's much more earthiness.
versus Willamette.
Right, and green pepper snap that you get off of that French versus the kind of dryness and more fruit forward, a bit more robust that you would get from a Russian River Valley versus the uber soft and fruit forward Willamettes.
Right. Well, now the other thing too is I think maybe going up to, because this is British Columbia, that probably that little bit of colder climate probably
And shortens
changes
the growing season as well, yeah.
Yeah, but all in all, very good. I mean, I'm glad we were able to get our hands on it because it was
a good whiskey. Don't get us wrong by any means. I actually quite enjoy it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It just, you're absolutely right. When you go, and you're right to compare the three. Some of it has to do with the grain as well. But when you go through a still wine cask finish, you're going to get something wildly differently across different whiskeys. Versus you see port or sherry finish, you're going to have a pretty consistent. Flavor profile.
Well,
and this is
also,
just, as you say, just totally different from the other couple we've experienced.
Also would say this one's going to be more representative of Westward as well because it's at the minimum 70% malted barley.
Yep.
To the 100% malted barley. So there's at least a little bit more of an apples to apples comparison, I guess you could say.
And maybe that's where you get a little bit of that sweetness too, is because they do use some corn.
Yep, could be the case.
You know?
And it's, it's also, I haven't had a bad spot yet. Like the green spot's great, blue spot's great, yellow spot's great, red spot's great. Like they're all fucking great.
I was going to say most of that's because Mel edited out, but
very good. Oh, what else do we also have to do, Mr. Graham?
Always remember to drink responsibly.
Alrighty, cheers.
Cheers.
Mel? How about that? There we go. Mel's even got a glass today.
So, Brian, Graying Sideburns, is already wondering, Graham, what is the stock value for a DU football show?
We're not publicly traded yet. We're still a privately run company. Thank you very much. We may do an IPO starting at about $2,000 a share.
Okay, take the zero, multiply it by the zero, carry the one. Zippy.
Zero.
It's a big fat fucking zippy. A lot more goals this week's completion of the fixture 21. Where we're just gonna do it just like we did last week. We're gonna go right in order.
Was that a sentence?
Yeah,
A lot more goals this completion of the 21 week.
Yeah. Well, words
All
are
right.
hard. Words are hard. Arsenal 5, Palace 0, Brentford 3, Nottingham Forest 2, West Ham 2, Sheffield 2, Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 0, Brighton 0, Wolverhampton 0.
Boo.
Yeah, because it was right on time for you there. I didn't even put the score in, but you know what? It's not wrong. I just wrote the names.
Yeah, and
That
I
is,
mean the
they
game was
didn't
about as worth that.
They didn't
too.
score any
Ugh.
goals. No.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah, for some reason, Scott is McMullen is in the chats, and he is excited for the Brighton game because he's already got commentary on it.
Well, he got to sit down and watch it today.
Yeah, I got to sit down.
Slow
and
day
watch
at
it
the
today.
office today, Scott. You're able to just kick back up the feet and watch. Don't worry, it was a slow day at the office for me too. So
Same over here, and I actually went out and worked.
yeah,
Still
precisely.
quite slow.
Goals galore for the Gunners, Mr. Graham.
Yeah, but it was a really weird game. In a sense, Arsenal dominated, but they didn't look that dangerous,
No.
to be honest. And none of our forwards, besides the Trossard goal, I don't think Saka or Jesus registered a shot on target. Mm-hmm. You know, it was all Gabriel from the set piece, obviously. He got the two towering headers. One of them obviously carooned off the back of Dean Henderson's head, probably because he didn't have that. He didn't have that hat on, Mel, that you loved him in so
Still
much.
think that was going in the goal.
So do I. I think he's a little bit hard done to not receive a second goal bonus for that. But
By the way, it's Nicole that
apparently-
really dug the hat. You keep wanting to think my wife has a love
She
affair with
loves
Dean
Dean
Henderson.
Henderson.
No, Nicole did.
They're the same person.
Okay, fine.
One of them's just a little more tan, Sam. That's it.
And has bigger boobs.
But they're both eventually going to be married to you, so it doesn't matter. They'll both be my sister-in-law at some point. But so it was a really strange game in that kind of respect. I mean, we had like 70% of the ball. We pretty much shut down Eze, which was good to see. But it was just really funny. They did only have one one shot on target less than I think it finished 6-5 in terms of shots on target in our favor, but they weren't terribly dangerous. I think I only saw David Riot full stretch once.
Yeah. Well, that was because he fucked it off.
Right, exactly. Because he screwed it up to begin with. But that throw for the counterattack, I mean, just hitting, I believe it was Odegaard, just in stride perfectly on the halfway line was fucking brilliant. Now, it was a kind of a comical fall over at the end.
Want everybody to see right here, it says, Raya, the good, the bad.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up was the fuck up that he had to make a brilliant save on. And then the really great distribution that went, oh, that's why we have that fucker in the net.
Simpatico.
Yeah, right there. Something
and this time I brought the points up in the order that you wanted me to.
So, well, then these two things I'm going to kind of put together. The lineup looked normal, right?
Yeah.
So it finally looked like your normal starting lineup. Your normal guys were healthy. Your normal guys were good to go. So you're able to then use your bench the way you want to.
Yes.
The only thing that was different about it is that Trossard started over Martinelli, which is very fair because, frankly, Martinelli hasn't been fucking scoring. And it worked because Martinelli fucking scored 2.
And Trossard scored.
Yeah. And I would also say you were talking about how it didn't look very convincing. It's also because Palace really helped you because all 3 of those goals for no fucking reason should have ever happened if they had decided, I don't know, to cover people and play defense or care or try or anything at all. Like you guys just walked it down the field.
Was it the Trossard goal was the brilliant counterattack, correct? Yeah. The 2 Martinelli goals, I mean, the one thing he has been is full of running, and he's always been a brilliant outlet, whether or not he's scoring goals or not.
Right.
What I would be concerned if I was a Palace supporter, and Brad should be concerned, is that it was essentially the carbon copy of he scored the same goal twice.
Exactly what I was about to say. Again, simpatico, my friend.
The same exact goal 2 times. And if you as a professional footballer, if you get done, and then you get done again, literally 90 seconds later, in the exact same way, you're just not paying attention. You just haven't learned anything.
As we talked about on the EFL show last week, that happens in League 2 4 times from the same side
goal.
of the field.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't happen in the Prem. That's a fucking problem. And that is either one of 2 things. Ineptitude as a player, which they've got a fairly decent defense. They've got a fairly decent team. Or a disconnect from the game and a disconnect from the coach, which unfortunately, I think we are hitting that point with Roy.
But you also have to look at it was 3-0 by that point. Both of Martinelli's goals were in stoppage time.
Yeah.
I think Palace was just in the locker room mentally.
Right.
I don't think that was necessarily a Roy coached them into those 2 mistakes.
No, I don't think it was Roy coaching them.
I just think it was the lack of. I just think they had 3-0 down. It's the 90th minute. We're obviously not clawing 3 goals back.
Right.
Eze's good. We ain't that good. So fuck it. Like we're just done. And but they left themselves open. It was just stupid.
But as a coach, you're probably sitting there on the sidelines and you're saying, all right, boys, just see it out. Come on. No more goals. No more shots. No shots.
Yeah.
We're just going to hold on to the ball. No shots for them. No shots for them. Boom. Quick fall asleep at the wheel goal. You'll be like, come on, boys. We got that. Like to then do the exact same fuck thing. That just means you as a coach are saying shit to your players on the pitch. Ain't fucking listening, man.
Yeah.
They ain't fucking listening. Like they don't care. Like
I mean, how many of them speak owl?
yeah, very true.
But the other thing, it was actually quite a sad sight. Is obviously Roy is a very widely respected coach. He's coached in a multitude of countries. One of the first Englishmen to leave the English shores and have a successful overseas career in both Scandinavia and Italy.
Besides saying this,
like we say in Portugal, bread is bread and cheese is cheese.
He said, Roy's our boss.
I think he coached in Italy.
He
Pretty
said,
sure he coached in
Roy
Italy.
is our boss.
Yeah.
He's our boss.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, everybody loves Roy Hodgson. He's a lovely man.
The man that shows no respect to no one, Jose Mourinho, shows respect to fucking Roy.
Yeah. And he's a bit feisty. He goes underrated as a feisty character. I mean,
well, because now he's the older guy. Oh, look, he's just the nice, soft guy.
Well,
like
yeah,
he still
that's
says
exactly
shit. He
right.
still gets very feisty in pressers.
That's exactly right.
Taylor says, sounds like the Palace players don't give a hoot about Roy's tactics.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Sorry he was late to the party with that joke.
They're on delay.
Fair. So but it goes. I mean, this was a guy that got asked a question at a press conference, and he turned around and said, "Hey, let's not take the piss here." Like, actually technically cursing at a journalist. So he goes underrated as feisty, and because he's older now, 70 odd years old, oldest manager in the Premier League, probably record will last for quite a while. To see the Palace supporters unfurl those banners at the end, and the camera to kind of pan that, and then to see him looking a little distraught on the sidelines. And then the camera that's kind of in the tunnel to show him looking directly at it from behind, and then to show his face again. It was just a little sad. Just kind of got me in the feels, And I heard it today, and it was a good point. I didn't think about it at the time, but somebody said that why it was so unspecific, that banner, not like hashtag Roy out, like most times when people are pissed off. It was very vague, the sign, just like ineptitude on and off the pitch is all it said. It didn't call out a specific person or players or coach or whoever. Was because they do respect Roy, but there has to be some sort of a succession plan here. There has to be some idea that he's fucking old now, man.
Is it Graham Potter? Because he was in the stands.
Well, that's, could be. He likes the project. He likes working with younger players. Palace now have a lot of that. And it could be the young hip coach that's coming in that's able to get them all back on side and playing well rather than the 77-year-old or 78-year-old, whatever.
Well, the other problem is you also couple that with the fact that of those young hip players, Decore's hurt and Elise is hurt again.
Right.
Like that fucking when all they have is Eze, it's very easy to hone in on Eze like it was with Zaha.
Yeah, which we
you
did.
Hone in on
Exactly.
Zaha, you could shut him down. That's exactly what's fucking happening to him right now. Do we think they're in real trouble?
I think there are three worse teams than them. And I think even if Roy stayed, I think that they would survive. Can they get sucked into it? Absolutely. If Elise can't get fit and stay fit, I think they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're only 3 ahead of no, I'm sorry. They are
5.
one.
I think it's 5
They're
points.
1 ahead of Forest, and they're 4 ahead of Everton, and then 5 ahead
Of the drop.
Luton.
Yep.
And Everton's playing well enough, and Everton
That's
ain't gonna give.
until you get your second points deduction.
Well,
for the
Everton,
same thing.
very true. Everton doesn't give up goals. That's the one key thing you can look at them and say they do not typically get scored on. They lead the league in shutouts, and they are the masters of 1-0 wins. Right?
I mean, Pickford doesn't get scored on.
Right.
Everton would without him.
Yeah, very true. Yes, they would. And you couple that with
That's true.
Forest. We'll get to them, but they did get the new manager with Nuno, and that is someone who has experience at being down and around it and how to fight a way out of it too. So it's like you could very easily see those two teams jumping Palace, and where are their kids' heads at when suddenly you're now the team that's a point out of the drop?
Right. Yeah. No, fair enough.
Honestly, their next game.
What you would hope is that those kids they're too young and dumb to be scared.
Right. That's what you hope for.
Right. And they don't let that affect them because they've never experienced it. They don't know what it is. Now, the flip side to that is they could be a Patrick Bamford case who's too posh to know because they've only come up in the Premier League.
Right.
And they've never put in the hard yards in the Championship, or what I know as they played for QPR or whoever it was. But, a lot of them don't know lower league football.
Fair.
So there's every possibility that they're spoiled.
And the last thing to mention with them too is their next game, right? They're not playing this weekend for the FA Cup because we eliminated them, but with a very sexy goal.
Here's another weird thing. So Hodgson in the post match, he substituted Eze in that match at halftime, I think, and to booze from the Palace
It was about
supporters.
the 60th minute mark.
Okay, to booze from the Palace supporters, and afterwards he was like, "Yeah, well, he's got to rest. He had to rest him. He's got a game this week. Well, then don't play him at all.
Right.
Don't play him at all.
Right.
Why'd you play him? What you're saying is, it's still 0-0. We don't have a chance here. We got to play Arsenal at the weekend.
Yeah.
And if we don't have him, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you had him
so
and you were
he's our only chance.
But the big one, what I was getting to, the big one for them is on Tuesday, they have Sheffield United at home. And Sheffield, not for nothing, I mean, I still think they're going down. They're playing better football.
They are playing a little bit better under Chris Wilder.
Palace
That's
is
true.
not playing good football.
No. I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
All
I mean, and Pals have a tough old run these next few weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's move it on. Tony's back. Tony is back.
Yeah. And if I was a betting man,
I knew that was coming.
I would have bet that he'd score. Now, the only reason I wasn't able to put that in my bet last week, and I had to add the stupid Brighton game to my bet, was because it was too early to add the goal scorer markets.
Whatever excuse you need to make
It's
yourself.
fucking annoying because I knew he was going to score. You knew he was going to score. Everybody knew he was going to score. It's a match made in heaven. What I didn't expect, and probably the highlight of the game for me, was the WWE style entrance music and everything else they gave him.
Oh, I know.
That was fucking weird, wasn't it?
Mel was talking about that. She was showing me the video. It was like, this is for one player. I'm like,
It was almost good, and I thought she may have written it for them.
a little nod to Mel's past. She's not paying attention because she's talking to people on the internet. It's okay, Graham. She's not going to listen to every one of your jokes. It's okay.
It was pretty good, though.
Okay, well, she doesn't care.
But I wasn't cued because I was trying to rush because you guys were calling me out.
Or maybe she was producing something. How about that?
That's a surprise.
Yeah. This is actually great. Knowing that Scotty's watching right now, we'll go ahead and talk about it. Was it the Wall's fault or was it Turner's fault?
All right, so all of the above. Everything about the situation was kind of shit.
Yeah.
Did Ivan Toney technically cheat? Yes.
Yeah.
The reason he says
He
you
has
get
a history with it.
He said no, he doesn't. He has a history with he hit his parlay of moving the ball and the foam is all I'm saying.
Yeah, there we go.
So technically, yes, he cheated because when he came out in the post match, it was like, yeah, I mean, you're allowed a yard either side. That's bullshit. That's not written anywhere. He just completely made that up. Right. Are referees very specific to the exact spot? No. However, if he truly believed that you got a yard either side, why move the foam?
Right.
Because it was very clearly the foam was about 2 feet wide.
Right.
And if you move the ball outside the foam, that would still be within a yard either side of the foam.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think you're doing the right thing, why move the foam?
Right. Precisely.
Where I fault
and his players are blocking and talking and making while he does it.
Right. Where I fault the Brentford wall. Everybody's looking at him.
Right.
Not one person tried to signal the referee. Not one person tried to protest it. Not one person took the responsibility to step to the left. Am I supposed to listen to you? Yeah. I played in front of you as a defender.
Right.
And you were a goalkeeper. Am I supposed to listen to you say to the right? Yes, I am. But if he moves the ball to the left, I'm going to go, hey, fucking take a half step left.
Right. Well, and also so the first two players on the wall have a very specific job. The first one, his job is to be turned around with his back looking right at the goalie as the goalie is telling him, move this way, move this way,
Move that
you're
way.
good.
Right.
The one right next to him has his arm connected to him and is to watch what the fuck is going on in front of him to go, hey, they're moving, or hey, they're doing this,
Right.
or, or they move the ball a little, stay here, don't move. They're,
Exactly.
And so all of that being said, but also,
But then also Matt Turner should notice what's happening and move and tell the ball to move.
Yeah.
As
Hey,
well.
what's going on up there? What's going on up there? Can't see. One of my most famous
see.
things
I can't
to see.
see. I can't see. Yep.
Can't see.
Yep.
And then you guys know,
Step up
fucking step
or
up.
fucking get
Say
out of the way.
something,
Yeah.
make some noise, let me know what's going on, because if I can't see it
Yep.
and it gets past you, I ain't seeing it when it goes in the back of the net.
Correct.
But the biggest thing, ultimately, we say it time and time again, and allow me to say it for the umpteenth time, if you are a keeper, you cannot be beat on your near post.
Well,
if you are
here's-
beat on your near post, it is always on you.
So I
on you.
saw you say this in the comments of his post on our closed group, Drunker United FC, which everyone should join because that's where 99% of the shit talk happens, and it's a lot of fun. What I would say to that point is specifically on free kicks, your wall is supposed to be covering that area for you, right? And as close as that ball was to the 18, you have somebody lay down behind the wall, which gives your wall the ability to jump because now you have the floor covered, right? And if everybody's 6'2" and up, which most of them are, when they jump, there's no way he can clear their heads and get the ball down before
Right, up and down.
Over the wall before the crossbar if they're able to jump, right? So somebody in that wall's got to take responsibility. If Matt Turner can't see it, to either communicate with him, he's moved it, or just go take a half step left, which is all they had to do, and then somebody would have been there to block it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And and by the time, because when you set us up, even in indoor, we covered your near post and you took the far post.
Right.
Because that gives you more time to react and you can have a better sight line on the ball. And if you got beat at your near post on a free kick specifically, that is our fault. Because as a wall, we didn't do our job.
Fair enough. I'll
Right?
give you that. I'll
In
give you
that specific situation, that's where I disagree with you. Right? And it was yes, he didn't do the right thing, but it was also a failure of responsibility on both the Brentford wall and Matt Turner that somebody either didn't notice it was happening, didn't communicate it was happening, and didn't call it out to the referee that he did it.
Right. Fair enough.
So it was a failure on all sides, on everyone's part except Ivan Toney. It's just a nefarious win, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
With you. I'm going to change my second point because I've got a different opinion of it now from what we were talking about before. There really hasn't been much of a Nuno bump. Like they got, the draw and the win, but now a couple of losses in a row. I say time to be worried, but I also... Do we wonder if the recent violations have got them as players nervous or concerned, where unlike we take the other example, Everton, where it galvanized them and made them just go, fuck you.
So what I would say about that point specifically is when this happened to Everton, they had their full complement of players.
Right. This team does not.
This team does not. And I warn you, we've already seen their dip in form under Steve Cooper happened when Awoniyi went out. He's got Chris Wood scoring goals for fun. He's got 4 goals in 5 games or something.
Yeah, he does. And by the way, that goal that he scored was about as Chris Wood could ever Chris Wood.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
that is like
100%.
Like little looping ball to the big boy heads it right into the fucking near
and
post.
then go celebrate at the camera that it probably doesn't know is a camera because he looks like a fucking Neanderthal. His eyes are too close together. He's got a big ass forehead.
Well, that big ass forehead put it in the back of the net.
And he's a Kiwi, so it sounds like I feel bad for New Zealanders and Australians in this respect. Do you know how, like, in this country, if you have, like, a southern twang and you're a guy, you kind of sound dumb?
Right.
Is that people associate that as a stereotype?
A little, yeah.
I feel like, if you come up and you're an Italian and you just, you speak it like this, and it's kind of sexy.
Right.
If you're a Frenchman, you kind of just you make women fall to their knees because you are so romantic.
Right.
Or Spanish, the same, kind of thing. I feel like or Germans, it just kind of instills fear or is uber sexual.
Right.
Only one of two ways. There's no in between with the German either. I feel like the Australians are the rednecks of the world, if that makes sense. And the New Zealanders, same way. Oh, yeah, crikey, mate. Yeah. They just sound like a fucking backwoods. And that's not a criticism. It's just a stereotype that I think's funny. And it doesn't help when you look like Chris Wood.
No. Very fair. Very fair. So,
He's got a big, dumb face.
So, continuing, do we think that the possibility of the points reduction hanging over their head is fucking with them at all? Or?
I don't think so. I think the performances are better under Nuno without Awoniyi than they were under Cooper.
Very fair.
It seems like he's found an adjusted system to cope with not having that particular player available to him. And I think that's a positive thing. And I think they will work out what's going on. I mean, the one game they lost because the ridiculous red card call. I mean, that's absurd. They should have 3 more points on the board than they do.
Right.
Or 2 more points on the board. I think they drew that game. It's just fucking stupid. That's just a criticism of refereeing. You know, and I know it's a Gary O'Neill kind of specific reference to count the points you would have had referees done their job appropriately. But that's a glaring error by the referees that really cost Forest in that situation.
They're even on points with Palace if that's the case.
Right, exactly. Which I don't know that you would have framed the question the same way necessarily if
Very
that
good.
was the case.
So massive win for the Bees. Do you think they sell Tony? I'm starting
No.
to be in your camp and say they won't just because they need him too
They
much.
will this summer.
Yeah, they will this summer, but they ain't selling him in January.
I don't think- unless somebody comes in
he
with-
wants to be sold,
Which he
ain't getting
did.
sold. He ain't getting sold.
Which he did.
Yeah.
A week after he gave the "I'm really committed to the Brentford cause because they've stuck behind me" and blah 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 speech. A week later, they were like, "So, you know, you're linked with a lot of clubs," and he was like, "Oh, I'd love to make a move." 2 days before the game, it was like fucking weird, man.
West Ham and Sheffield United. There really wasn't much in this match until the 90th minute, and then oh shit, there was a lot in this match.
There was a lot going on. The opening goal was a bit fortunate. Start
Yeah.
there. I think Cornet reacted well to the deflection and kept his composure. I thought it was a bit strange he chose to go with his left foot and in the manner that he did. That was, I don't know. His body shape said different to what actually happened.
Yeah, fair.
And I found it kind of boggling for a moment. But, you know, West Ham, they have to react better when their goalkeeper makes a, frankly, fantastic save. Sometimes you're not going to be able to parry the ball wide. Sometimes you just have to do everything you can to get your hand on it.
Right.
And that ball went back into the danger zone, and a West Ham player was closer to it, right? Just around the penalty spot. To allow a Sheffield United player, and his name is actually quite hard to pronounce.
Brereton Diaz.
Yeah, but it's spelled like Brereton, which sounds like the knockoff version of Bridgerton.
So I'm going to throw a little something at you. You know who that is?
No.
That is the guy who went to Spain we got him from Villarreal.
I know he played for Villarreal.
He was the one that was the big time goal scorer for 2 seasons straight in the championship with Blackburn. The one who was scoring all the goals.
Yeah.
And everybody
Okay.
thought that, like,
Now that rings a bell.
everybody thought that he was going to go up to the Prem, and then when they had their massive crash out on the final day, remember they
shit the bed. Yeah.
had the lead twice, lost it, got beat badly,
And didn't make the playoffs as a result.
And then he got sold to Villarreal because
Wow.
nobody in the Prem really ultimately offered enough money for him. So
So this was a Premier League debut goal for him.
yes, it is.
And he had a hell of a miss later on as well.
So
But as a West Ham defender, to not react to that ball that's coming to you, and you know you're looking at the save that happened in front of you, you're facing your own net, to not be able to react and hook that ball away and dilly-dally that badly. Now, he did very well, obviously, to nick the ball away and then to find the composure to keep it on target in this instance. But I think that's piss poor.
Yeah.
Absolutely piss poor defending for that. And I don't think enough people were pulling them up on that.
right. Well,
From everything I've listened to. 'Cause
Now
that's just absolutely pitiful.
into the extra time, into the 90 injury time part of it, the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, just stupid from Brewster. Just a stupid fucking.
There's a lot of times we'll talk about forwards tackles, right? And usually they're just dumb, and you're like, they're just not good at tackling because they're forwards and they don't have to do it often, and a little rush of blood to the head, and that's it. This looked intentional, and it looked like it was fucking premeditated murder.
Right, a rush of blood to the head, but don't go in hard. And it's whenever you see a striker going super hard, it's like, oh, that's not gonna go well.
He was two-footed.
Yeah.
He left his right leg. He saw what the player was doing. If you watch the replay, the slow motion replay they played afterwards, he saw what he was doing, left his right leg where it was, knowing it was going to connect with his leg, and you see his left leg go out to take the ball that he just kicked.
Yep.
Right? You could see the deliberate and real movement that he made. He went two-footed, and then that leg comes out, and he left that right leg where it was. That's completely intentional. and I think he should be given a couple extra games. Lucky he didn't break whoever's leg. I can't
Don't
remember who it was.
disagree. And then fucking
Was it on
Sufal.
Cresswell or somebody?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
And then Sufal. You're literally in the final minute, and your dumbass just makes the normal kind of in the middle of the field, slow down the play kind of foul, but you're already on a yellow, and it was clearly a yellow card.
Wasn't the when they went to argue with Brewster?
He got a yellow for that.
That's where he got the yellow.
And then he got the yellow for fucking going
I
in hard
think
on
the
someone.
yellow was the second yellow was a little harsh, to be honest with you. But he put himself in a position to give the referee a decision to make.
Just don't do that, dude.
You can't do that. How many times do we
especially
say?
when
How
that
many
much of the
times do
time
we
of the
say
game
it?
is left?
And I think part of it was the altercation still in the referee's mind. Mm-hmm. So even though he didn't make that much contact, the Sheffield United player obviously milked it.
And it was also
milked what
a
contact there was.
Deliberate hard foul
But
to stop.
I don't think
play.
it was that hard, is what I'm saying. I think what he did was put himself in a position that gave the referee a decision to make. What he's doing there, though, and the referee still has a sour taste from 3 minutes ago when you were the first one to the fray.
Yep.
And it looks like that you're trying to get a retribution tackle in, even though I don't think there was that much contact.
Yeah. And then you go even further because of that send off, there's now more time added to the game, right?
And also, you're back to even Steven.
And Alphonse Areola came out hard, and I'm going to say ultimately I think it's a foul. It is. He came out too reckless in it all, right? You typically give a goalie a little liberty if they're going for the ball, right? We talked about this last week. Make it look like you're trying to make a fucking save, which I think he was. He was trying to get ball first, but he ultimately got him. And I feel that
I want to know how he ended up bleeding, though.
Yeah. Well,
because that sounds to me like Ollie McBurney threw another elbow and probably should have been sent off.
Bleeding and concussed because you had to bring in Fabianski to fucking face the penalty. And honestly, not a very good penalty from McBurney. And you wonder.
And Fabianski apparently has a better record than Areola against penalties.
But also, Areola was warm. Fabianski literally came on to face a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, he was warm because of the 98.6 degree blood that was flowing out of his face.
Right, but you wonder if that shot's taken against Areola. Does maybe Areola save that penalty?
No, because he didn't know where he was, apparently. He was
True.
concussed and bleeding.
And then you come back again, and on the other side, you don't call a penalty. The excuse from the PGMOL is fucking horseshit. They said, well, they were both grabbing each other's jerseys. That's fine. Bowen's watching the ball come in that he's trying to head. The defender doesn't even know where the ball is. Defender is like a lineman in football. He's got his hands on him and he's fucking taking him to the ground.
So I heard this described as a Goldberg spear, basically.
He wasn't even looking at, how can you know what? I don't care if fucking Bowen's got him by the front of his shirt and smacking his fucking face around. You know what? That guy ain't even paying attention to the play.
Yeah.
He is literally just tackling him to the ground. How you do not call that is baffling to me.
Speaking of Blackburn references, since you brought one up earlier, that was a Robbie Savage tackle. Absolutely.
Oh
was.
my God, yes.
Who was a much better rugby player than he was a football player. Problem is, he never played for a rugby team.
and Moyes at the end of the match he was like,
He was incensed.
Well, he was like, well, I can't talk about it because there's people watching and those people do things. So, what am I supposed to say?
This
if I
is
say
Jose
something,
Mourinho.
I get fined.
Exactly right. I was just about to say that. That's Jose Mourinho again. Also, by the way, since we've mentioned him now a couple times, R.I.P. Jose Mourinho's job. He got sacked as Roma manager this weekend.
Graham, one rumor I heard he's always wanted to coach a international team. USA, right there.
Oh yeah, big time.
Put it.
I'd
right
welcome
in
it.
my-
I would fucking welcome it.
And also, fire Berhalter. Don't care if you gave him an extension. Hire Jose right now. You might actually win the World Cup.
No shit. I love everything about it. Problem is, he's only 61 years old.
Yeah.
So he obviously has a ton of passion for it. And one of the other funny things I heard from a pundit today as I was listening to the radio is, you know how football is cyclical. It's only a matter of time, and I think he's doing really well to wait it out, that his style of football comes back into fashion again, and he'll just be unbeatable again.
Heard.
You know, it's only a matter of time.
All right. Liverpool Bournemouth. There's really not a ton to really talk about this game, despite all the goals. Dueling braces from both Jota and Nunez. So, good news. Who's going to score the goals while Salah's away?
I wouldn't bank on Nunez. I think this was a fluke. He's such a chaos merchant. It's not even funny.
When he scored the first one, I was just like, he's missed that easy shot at least 20 times. But the other thing is, too, is just came out today. What initially was thought to be going to be just a game or two for Mo to miss, which would have been the rest of AFCON.
Picked up an injury.
Looking like 30 days.
Picked up an injury, yeah.
So these guys scoring for them
it's massive.
It's
massive. But
massive.
didn't Diaz go off hurt as well in this game?
I think he did, yeah.
So that is concerning as well, because he does a lot of work down that left. Now, Cody Gakpo's there. And Cody Gakpo, I really appreciate the work he puts in, even though he doesn't get a ton of goals. And I think he creates space for other players, Cody Gakpo. But Jota, the comical bit of this entire thing was obviously his horrific miscue that would have ended up behind him had he not reacted to it so quickly.
Yep. That one. Oh, shit. Still in front of me.
Well, he swung at it, and the ball just kind of carooned up. You saw the backspin, but he was able to, he saw it the whole way and just immediately pivoted and reacted faster than the Sheffield United players did. Got a touch to it and then fired it into the far corner.
The Cherries offered very little after the first half. The first half they looked decent,
played pretty well,
but then after that they really didn't offer much.
There just wasn't many chances for them, man. It was, you know. That being said, I think Virgil van Dijk and Konate, especially Ibrahima Konate, played very fucking well.
Yeah.
I think about that the one tackle he had at the edge of the 18, maybe just between the 18 and the penalty spot. I think Van Dijk got outdone by a cutback, but Konate was there, slid in, went over the ball but didn't make contact with the player. His leg was wide enough, and then was able to kind of from the floor clear the ball.
Yep.
And Van Dijk, I mean, the way that they celebrated was like they scored a goal. And Van Dijk was leading those celebrations because he saved his blushes.
Yeah.
I think, and he knew it.
Yeah.
And Liverpool wouldn't have been as comfortable if they were without those two. And I think those two, that's the most comfortable they look together that I've seen.
Give it up to the kid, by the way, that started in the place of Alexander-Arnold from the injury. Looked like just part of the furniture. Did his job. Had a couple of nice crosses. Didn't look bad at all.
Yep.
And the other thing, because Russ criticizes me for not saying anything nice about Liverpool. Perfect answer. City won a big game last week, coming from behind and beating Newcastle. You guys put a thumping on Palace. Great fucking answer.
Yeah.
That is exactly the answer you need to be giving Liverpool. If it's going to be you're going to win the title, which they have every right to be there. They have a
5-point lead on City right now.
And they're in it. They fucking, like, the midfield is a little erratic, but it's there. It's all the bones are there, and you got to give credit to a fucking quality coach that knows what he's fucking doing.
Absolutely.
You know, if you got to be like, this team could definitely do it. And this was exactly the kind of result you needed to have, especially after the results the people directly around you just had.
Exactly. And I'll always say this about Klopp too, and I say this about a lot of managers as well. Not most of them aren't as honest to say Ange, right? Which is hard for me to say because he's obviously Spurs manager,
right.
To give him any credit. But he does go, yeah, we just weren't good enough, but we're going to keep doing what we do, and this is what we do, right? He said that multiple times this season when they were going on their slide when everybody was hurt.
Right.
But what Klopp does is kind of the old school Wenger, Mourinho, Alex Ferguson kind of mentality of I'm going to deflect attention away from my team. And that is as much of a tactic as making a substitution in the 68th minute.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's great for us because it gives us material when he says things like, it was too windy today.
Right.
You know, or something doesn't come off correctly because of his English being a second language. You know,
he doesn't know how to ref because he shouldn't ref because he's never played the game.
He's never
before.
played the game. He's not a proper football man. I mean, that plays right into talk sport. You know, I think he's lining himself up a punditry role when he retired.
Oh, absolutely.
But my point is he plays that very, very well. He does that part of the game very, very well. We used to call them mind games, right? When Alex and Wenger and Mourinho were all three at the peak of their powers at the same time.
Yeah, just
and they were all
fucking with
going
each
after
other.
each other. But Wenger's famous thing was, I haven't even seen it. I have to look back at a replay, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, exactly.
You know, and then, Mourinho would make up whatever shit he would make up to take the pressure off his players. And then Alex Ferguson would do the same thing and mainly call out referees for their performance, regardless of what happened on the field or what the events that transpired were. Klopp does that very well. Again, the English being a second language and the kind of ridiculousness of some of the things he says makes our jobs very easy. But he's doing that on purpose. I mean, that's a real thing and part of a great thing as a coach that he does.
All right, and then the final game, and I'm going to adjust a little bit here. The biggest thing for Wolves, Neto is back.
Yeah,
like that's
huge.
And you already saw what
He's
Neto
a poor man's Martinelli.
was doing with the work rate of Cunha. Like Cunha just runs fucking everywhere,
Yeah.
right? And for a guy who is the pass, the make the moves happen, he loves to see a guy that's going to run all day.
But he also likes to run himself. I mean,
Yeah.
he chases a lot of lost causes
yeah.
himself as well.
I'm interested to see.
And I think he plays the wings a bit better than Cunha does
Right.
too.
When Wang gets back from the Asia Cup, like the three of them together,
That's gonna be
that's a dangerous
Yeah.
little front line
it's
right
good.
there.
Well, you saw the
a
first
fucking
two,
dead,
the first
dangerous little
two,
fucking
3
front
games
line.
of the season. Wolves put in fantastic performances. Were hard done by the referee at Old
Yeah.
Trafford, but that was before Neto got hurt. Mm-hmm. They
Yeah,
were excellent. I
very
thought they
much
were
so.
excellent.
And I would say this 0-0 game had chances, man. There were opportunities on both ends of the fucking
Bro,
pitch.
listen. So the way Wolves set up was like West Ham did at Arsenal a couple weeks ago, and Brighton played into that by playing very slow, just like Arsenal did.
Yeah.
They didn't move the ball quickly enough. There were 1 or 2 counterattack chances, but for the most part, the game was played across the back line, and then way too often they went back to Jason Steele to reset. You're never going to break a team down like that, putting 10 behind the ball.
Nope.
And it was, which is why Wolves only had like 29% of the ball, but Wolves had the better of the chances in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
I think there were 2, maybe 3. Now, João Pedro had 1 or 2 shots on target. Maybe could have done better with the first one.
Yeah. The end of the match when he had the ball on his foot on his left and he had to cut it back and then 5 guys stood in front of the ball. It was like,
Well, that's because it was his
Just
third
should've-
cutback. By that
just
point,
like- yeah.
I think they know what you're going to do.
yeah, he just needed to let that ball because he's right in the middle of the goal,
And
too.
Evan Ferguson was standing on the edge of the 18. He's
Yeah.
got a very good record striking the ball from there.
Yeah,
Just
precisely.
Poke it out to him.
But
But
did get a little feisty there at the end of the first half.
So I thought Wolves played this very physically. I thought it was kind of feisty the entire time.
Yeah.
They didn't do much to try to get out of the way of anything, really.
Yeah. Well, you had the Dawson. For me, Dawson was just trying to walk over top of him. Now he was purposely walking over
Yeah.
top of him.
No, I
but
think
it wasn't like he was trying to step on him.
His was a more of a dick move than the other one. I
Yeah.
think it was Cunha and Billy Gilmore.
Yeah.
But Totti was a dickhead a couple times,
yeah.
giving some extra body. I think to Billy Gilmore, if I remember correctly.
Honestly, it's what you do to a team like Brighton.
Well, right. I mean, again, I hate, because y'all always accuse me of bringing it back to Arsenal, but again, it's just what I know.
Ugly it.
Well, bully it up, exactly. To try to bully them because they play too pretty. And
Most of your
and it would affect us.
unexpected dropped points this season, like to West Ham and to Fulham, were because
slow it down and make it gross.
and they made it. And then
Yeah.
and then there was it took a worldie to beat us at Goodison.
Yep.
And that whole game we uglied it up, and you
Right.
didn't really have chances, and that's what it is.
Well, to take a line from one of the pundits I listen to a lot, Andy Brassel, over in England. If this game happened in my back garden, I would have shut the blinds.
Sure money.
I lost again.
You had a fighter's.
I had everything
I had myself muted. My cough button. You
Muted. I had myself muted. Why do you
yeah.
sound like a Bond villain?
You were in it. You told me today. You were like, my bet's still live. I was like.
That's the curse
There's
of
no
death.
way in hell
Yeah.
Brighton's getting points out of this one. No way they're getting all three. That's going to fuck off. So what do you got for the Dort Spirek Cup of Losers?
Aren't seagulls the most annoying of the birds? Fucking seaside flying rats.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. God damn it.
So yeah,
I'm sorry. Just so I can be done, I'm now down $747.
fabulous. I had too much faith in two road dogs, so I am now down $439.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
I actually wrote down the wrong number. It's actually 19, not 10. I remembered the number very specifically, but 19.047619% of the time.
1-9er.
It's right 100% of the time. I have I learned a lesson in the blades and the bees.
Nice.
See what I did there? See what I did there?
Nice.
Yours
very
yours
proud
was
of
a bird,
himself.
and then I did a bees.
I have a question.
It's the best when he giggles at his own jokes.
It was
It
a
is.
well-written joke, thank you. He does it all the time with his fucking dad jokes.
Well, the question there would be: is they're both phallus-shaped things, the bee stinger and the blade?
Yeah,
So
just
who's
kind of
the
pokey pokey. Show title.
You just got a
No.
pokey pokey.
No.
It can't be pokey pokey. Pokey pokey's a great show title.
No.
You got better options?
If I was a betting man,
Okay, I could go with that one.
That's pretty
the
funny.
second it came out of your mouth, I knew there would be nothing
I
funnier.
say for this 1 week only, we ditch the theme tune and do the Undertaker's music just like Brentford did. Fucking, it's so weird, man.
Like, weird.
It's not like he was like out for a year with a horrific leg break or something. He got in trouble. He was banned for betting. That's so strange.
Here's something
I don't
to know.
get it.
It was a heel
is
turn.
Kitty is on a slide. She has now lost 3 in a row and sits at 12-8.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, you're winning still. You fucking-
Unlike us, who lose constantly.
No
That's
shit.
going to wrap it up. Mr. Graham, any parting words?
Yeah, a few. Sucks that I have to do this. And one, I honestly, I didn't write it down because I heard about it as I was driving over here. But in the championship, maybe might have been League One. There was a player racially abused again. And then in Italy, there was another in the top flight, Milan and whoever Milan played this weekend. There was the Milan goalkeeper who I thought was Olivier Giroud. It's not.
Hold on here. Italy, there was racism. For the live audience, allow me to show you my surprise face.
Yeah. Was also racially abused. And it just shows again that it's alive and well, and which is fucking annoying. And what I think is a lot of what I've heard being echoed around is there needs to be some sort of very severe punishment and collective responsibility. I know most people agree that it is a subset of a football's fan base, football club's fan base that are racist, not the entire stadium, which is usually true. I take that point. It might be 7 people out of the 20,000 that are there. But until the punishment is severe, what point does anybody have to crack down on it properly?
Don't let your fans come to the stadium for a game.
Well, here, not even that. More than that. Dock them points.
Yeah.
Dock them fucking points. Relegate them.
Make it affect their
Make that game a forfeit.
Especially
you
when we-
forfeited. That is a 3-0 loss now.
especially when we talk about points being deducted, like in the case of
Of
Everton.
finances and
Right.
other shit.
You're like, that's not fair to the fans. Well, this would be directly at
Because of the fans.
Be like, oh, you fucked off.
Yeah.
Your team just lost
Right.
points because of that.
Control your fans, and keep them out of the stadium. The tech is there. You very often you're able to, identify people that threw stuff or did this. So identify the people that yelled the racist stuff.
Excellent.
Figure
Very
it out.
good.
Hire more stewards. Excuse me. Do whatever you got to do. Do any of that kind of crap. It's really sad, and there has to be something severe that happens, or nothing's ever going to be done about it. It's just it's sickening at this stage that this stuff still exists. You know, it's as you know, as we saw with Alphonse Areola, we all bleed red, man.
Yeah, heard.
You know what
Very
I'm saying?
True.
Full
Very
circle
true.
moment there.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. If you're on the live stream, you want to hear us do the EFL show, we're going to do it right after this. We're going to take a quick break. But, of course, we also have Injury Time. And Injury Time this week, everybody, another Christmas present is going to be free to everyone because we are going to be talking about the FA Cup.
4th round, yep.
Yep, got to be doing that as well.
Threw up a couple fun matchups as well.
But if somebody wanted to find Patreon to listen to everything else we do, Sam, how do they go about doing it?
At runyay.com. Actually, it's at patreon.com/DFootball show. Just sign up to that $5 tier. You get all the extras that Sam just talked about, as well as a few other extras that nobody really knows unless you're a part of it.
Excellent. Till next week, everybody.
Good night.
Under an hour. Fuck yeah.
It is live, so make the question for everybody.
I love it. So that you said an 11-second delay.
About 10 second, 10, 11 seconds.
I think that's showing up on our TikTok videos.
Huh.
Because the TikTok videos, when I watch them, it'll be like, I think this is going on.
So it's
It is-
like a Jackie Chan.
I was going to
dub
say
film.
it is very old school 70s kung fu movie.
Rumble in the Bronx.
I don't know how to fix that because it's not like that.
You know dragon? I know dragon.
I'll show you. It's not like that when I press play on Restream and I look at it. I think that's something. I think Canva might be doing that,
Okay.
and I don't know how to cut them out of the equation.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I may just have to cut them out of the equation and just try that without. I just to see if instead of making the cute little templates that I've been doing, just put up there. Here's a clip.
I would say most. Well, honestly, most of the
Why
podcasts,
Goldberg say it? Here's a clip.
Because it's an otter. Here's your clip, bitch.
For some people, yeah.
Want to do TikToks better? Say it with an autogram.
I don't even remember what we just said.
Do it better, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, right?
Fuck your template.
Want to do TikToks better? Say it with an autogram.
Do it better, bitch.
There you go. There we go. Bringing back the old autogram
Okay, I'm writing down where that was at because I'm just gonna have that snippet.
as a video on TikTok. Yeah. Say it with an autogram. Do it better, bitch. I love it. The most of the podcast videos I see on TikTok are typically just the straight camera. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just
like one of those like confession videos.
So it's not what I'm doing.
they don't have the delays that ours has. So I don't want to critique
No,
the
please. I
work
don't know what I'm
that you
doing.
are doing because
No.
I appreciate that you're doing it.
I have no idea. Hey guys, I've been saying this. How many
Right.
years we've been doing this? 6.
Right.
I've been saying this for 6 years, and only
Same-
Taylor believes me.
Same-
I don't know what I'm doing.
Same way I tell you if there's like a mistake in audio on the show, I'll
Yeah.
call you and let you know. It's not I'm angry. It's
Oh, I know.
hey, I hear this.
I know.
Well, I mean,
is-
if we knew what the problem was and you continue to do it, then I'd be mad at you.
Right. Right.
But we don't know what the problem is.
Yeah.
Like wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see.
Hello.
It's
Hello?
gone.
Hello,
because I'm not
hello?
recording on Audacity.
Oh, okay. That would probably have something to do with it.
Just start that with no context. That'll be great.
Hold on. I have to do up my new window. Let's.
Hello.
What the fuck?
To the EF. No, turn it back up. It's really windy, and it's moving the sound around. It's haunting. I'm in your nightmares. I'm talking to you, Taylor. Ooh. Come.
Oh my god.
Although Taylor would probably enjoy it if it was Young Hot Freshness, or as I've now started calling him, YHF.
Just YHF.
Young Hot Freshness. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, just
YHF.
acronym. Yeah.
That's YHF.
Did you see his cover on Annapolis Moms?
No. Oh yeah. On the magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Look at all Young Hot Freshness.
Who's the other dude?
That's Steve,
Steven.
the assistant general manager of the club.
What was he looking at?
We have no idea.
It's
I
like-
can't wait. When he's in studio, when's he in studio? Next week?
Next Tuesday.
You have to ask him.
I'm absolutely asking him. 100% asking him. Hey, Steve, great picture, great promo. Love what you're doing. Love you, man. Just one question.
What day's he coming in?
What are you looking at?
Tuesday.
What time?
It's going to be 6:30.
On the way home from work, I might stop by.
Just
Just grab your mic. Hi, Steve. I'm Sam with the DU Football Show. Nice to meet you.
precisely what you were looking at.
What were you looking at there?
Did the photographer have a squeaky toy? Is that they were doing squeaking a little squeaky toy
Is
up
he
in
shaking
the
his
air?
keys? Is he shaking his keys to keep your attention?
This is the assistant general manager of our local professional soccer club.
Yeah.
A little respect.
Who we love dearly.
Who we love dearly. And this is his
hold on.
first time.
I'd love him to have a Roy Hodgson. Hey, let's not take the piss here.
This will be his first time on the podcast. Like, he's been in here, like, with Hitch,
Yeah, but
with
it's gonna be
Fred,
just
with other people. But this will
interview
be
with him.
first time it's, all Steven all the time. And I'm so looking forward to that.
Well, he's also just into the show too, so it's going to be
he's
very
great.
fun to have him because he's going to bring energy to it as well.
Does he listen to our other content?
I don't know if he does.
I say our as a part owner of this venture. By the way, I know I'm not on that show, but
No, it is our content.
A certain interview we did that we're still not allowed to divulge until February.
yes.
Oh, it's the news is out there.
Hey, well, Jacob Merle, the recent draft pick for for DC United.
I'm aware of this.
It did.
I had to pass over my desk for the stamp of approval.
So-
Remember, we haven't even started the podcast yet. We're just
I think I contributed 2 questions.
bullshitting with
to that.
live.
So for those of you who are here, that's coming up, and that's going to be his first interview since being drafted
yeah.
and becoming a professional footballer. So good that it was a get, and yeah, he now listens to you.
Nice.
He's a United supporter.
He's also 19.
Yeah, he's a kid. He's a baby.
What?
He's a baby.
Were they even good when he was born?
All right, let's do the let's do the EFL
Wait,
show.
what's
Let's get
19
into it.
years ago from what's now? 2024? So it would have been 2011?
Sounds good.
Nope. That's 12. Would have been
When
10 more years.
Yeah,
8 more years. So 2003?
Yeah, he's only known the mediocrity in his,
No, 2005.
Yeah.
What
well, no, because they won in Alex's last season, which was 2012, right?
Yeah, but when was he? He was born. When was he born?
Yeah, they're like 2005.
Well, 04
Either 04 or 05.
was the end of Arsenal's unbeaten season.
Houston,
Yeah.
this is going to make us feel, I don't know, ready for this stat?
Mm-hmm.
We're coming up on our 20-year anniversary next month.
Right.
Jacob Morrell wasn't born yet.
I would have graduated.
Merle like Earl.
Morrell like Earl.
That
Oh,
was-
yeah, we've all been saying his name wrong, y'all.
Yeah, that was funny, Graham. The very
Rhymes with Pearl.
the
Why
very
does everybody keep correcting the way we say shit? Fuck all y'all.
so the
I say what I want, Ronnie A.
so
You
the
rat bastards.
the end of the interview, because midway through we're calling him Merle,
All right, Graham.
Morel the whole time.
Yeah.
Jacob Morel. We're talking about that, right? And like even his keeper, I would hear his keeper during games go Morel, like say his name incorrectly. So at the very end of it all, as midway through he said his name correctly. At one point he said his last name, and but he didn't correct us because he's a kid.
He's
too
so
nice,
nice.
too nice of a kid to do it. At the very end, I just go, hey, little just tip. Now that you're a pro and everything, just consider this
And you're an
old man-
adult.
an old man passing on. Just correct us.
Yeah,
Just correct. You want people to know who the hell you are. Correct them.
absolutely.
They say your name wrong. Correct them.
Well, so here's the other thing too. I have about this. I just forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, we have an intro for DU from him.
No, there was something
But
I
he
was
was-
going to say. Fuck.
Well, while you're thinking, he was so polite and so professional and so just polished that he could not come up with anything rude or insulting or snide.
Nice, smart kid.
He just couldn't.
Yeah, smart kid. I like him already.
Yeah.
Oh, Merely. What's his name? Merle? Morel?
Merle.
JK. The no, what I was gonna say was it depends when in the year of 2004 he was or 2005 that he was born.
Right.
Because he
Right.
could be turning 20 this year. It's only January.
Well, it could have been the year of during the Invincibles.
So it could have been he was born during the Invincibles, or it could have been he was born on the day that Wayne Rooney dove for Manchester United's third goal in the 8-2 thumping that ended the 49 unbeaten,
There you go.
which is why he might be a United supporter.
could be.
In which case, I would just simply hate his face.
I'm a
He's
red.
too nice.
I'm a
He's
red.
too nice. He's too good of a kid.
I'm a Red Commander Skins football team fan because of 1972. Redskins beat the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl on my birthday, the day I was born.
There you go.
So, it
Yeah.
was just meant to fucking be.
And
I'm a Kansas City fan because of Taylor Swift.
Meant to fucking be.
I wasn't even a twinkle when that happened. Mm-hmm. I wasn't born for a sultry 12 years.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were sultry. Late 70s.
Your dad was running around the city picking up girls singing Delphonic songs. Is
A lot
what
of
he
Bush
was doing.
back then. A lot of Bush back then.
Yeah, I remember you telling me your dad
Oh, yeah.
got down with the Delphonics. So
Big
I
time.
guarantee you he was sitting there
100%.
singing "Didn't I Blow Your Mind" this time to
Oh,
him.
no, it's La La means I love you. It was he was,
definitely.
He was playing the hits.
Playing the hits.
My dad was playing the hits.
Oh, Didn't I Blow Your Mind this time was a pretty big hit too. All right, let's do a fucking show. Well, Mr. Graham, we don't have a stunning 10-goal thriller like we did last week, but we got plenty to talk about. Leicester and Ipswich played each other today,
Yes, they did.
and we've got FA Cup and League Cup to talk about as well. So
Yes, we do.
we got a decent amount of shit, I'd say, despite the fact that basically all the games but 4 in League 2 were canceled because,
Weather.
weather. That happens. Let's start the show.
Come on.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to DU Does EFL Show, a completely biased brief recap of the English Football League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, pronouncing everything fucking wrong, and he gives zero fucks about it, Mr. Samuel Graham.
The key is I pronounce most things absolutely correctly. That's the key. So I'm allowed to, when I get it wrong from time to time, to tell everyone to fuck off. Ronnie A.
Are you having a piss? And of course, on the ones and twos, producer Mel,
Hello.
the new Taylor Swift fan.
That's it.
Well, you know what? I've decided Kansas City Chiefs. Kind of cousins to Washington Commander skins.
She's sitting there looking. She's looking at
Jesus
the
Christ.
TV.
Burgundy to red.
She's looking at the TV and singing to the Chiefs, "You belong to me." Yeah, holding up little signs and shit like in the video.
Yeah, nope,
So
I'm in now.
I'm one. You talk about bandwagon Ravens fans. I don't give a fuck about the Ravens because I'm a Red Commanderskins football team. My grandmother still lives in Southeast DC, right?
His entire territory is in Carroll County,
Goddamn
Maryland.
right. Which is all Ravens. So it is good for business if they stay in. So fucking flock with me, baby.
He wants people drinking.
Also, did we all see the memes over the weekend of apparently Martin Luther King reincarnated attending the game?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Fucking fantastic. I loved it wrote itself, obviously, but the first person that did it, very well done to you. I have a team. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And imagine the best piece of commentary about the memes that I saw was just like, imagine going to a game just looking like you and you're an internet sensation for literally sitting in a fucking chair. And you're not Bernie Sanders cold at the inauguration.
with the mittens.
You're just literally trying to watch a game, but you look somewhat like MLK.
That's ridiculous.
We're
Pretty
recording
good.
at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your pods, and of course, streaming live every single Monday night. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. Because both of our clubs are Premier League clubs, we have not found the need to update our email address. It is at DU Football Show on all the social medias, at dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email. The reason we started doing the show is, one, we have a lot of Leeds and Fulham supporters, and then, Fulham stayed up, which we were a little surprised at for a bit, and then it got normal. And then we thought Everton was going to go down.
And I was going to need to do
I'm
a
like,
show.
let's say the real reason. I'm watching Everton's season, and I went, so honey, how about a spin-off show?
Also, I would say that the other reason why we did that as well was because our shows were running an hour and a half. without Ryan Williams. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and have a deep passionate love for alcohol, but we're drinking the exact same shit that we were
Just
drinking
for
before.
Just for alcohol. Not distilled spirits. Just booze. Fuck it.
Booze.
Yeah, it's just booze now.
Well, I realized as I was going through it, I was like, I'm going into the bit that I don't need to do, but it's still gotta be good. You know what? You gotta fucking land
so
that
you
joke,
make
baby.
us sound worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we just like booze, man. We're gonna talk about your teams.
actually, truth be told, the bottle of whiskey, because it's a harder to find Irish, is only a 700 ml,
Well,
so
so
it's
you-
already half gone.
You know what's happening is most places are changing to 700s
Oh yeah, definitely.
because for the European market, the Asian market, and I believe the African market as well. Excuse me, everything's sold in 700s. So those in the States, at least, that make 750s, and even some of these, smaller Irish and Scottish distilleries that are making 750s specifically for the American market are having to cut costs. And the easiest way to do that, because a 700 is a legal size in America, is they're just fucking off the 750s now.
Yeah, just not
You're
bothering.
getting a 700.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems-
And that cut costs, they don't have to buy the glass for an extra 50 ml.
Right, very fair. And I'm drinking a little bit of Westward just because I don't want to kill that bottle because we need to save it for the whiskey show, for
My
fuck's sake.
new favorite thing is noticing the progression between sound check to the main show to the show to injury time.
Oh, yeah. Well,
As it gets just looser and looser.
it's about to
and
get a lot worse.
drinkier and drinkier.
well,
It's about to get a lot worse.
And last week particularly,
Yeah.
I decided to let the old hair down and threw back a few. And I was
I was
very
fucked
loose.
up, too.
I was very loose by the end.
If someone were to want to get injury time, how would they do that, Graham?
Very easy. Patreon.com/DU Football Show and sign up to that one beautiful $5 tier. You get Sound Check, which is our sound check. We check up with each other over the weekend, all the random shit in our lives that are happening, as well as actually checking our sound. So sometimes you don't actually hear a fucking thing. And then Injury Time, which everyone knows by now, is our preview show of the upcoming weekend.
That was perfect whore. That was perfect pimp.
Championship Corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh no!
Well, sometimes I put the rouge on when I head down to the dock, Sam, because the guys like that.
No. The sailors.
The sailors like that. You're right. Yeah.
Gotta land the joke right.
Lewis Black, everybody. Very, very good bit, that one.
Ipswich get an equalizer late at Leicester and barely hang on to second place with a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, but that's a massive momentum shifter there. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
That's huge. To go from, we're not going to be in the automatic spots, and being nervous about it, obviously, and very visibly nervous about it, to finding the goal to get that goal. That's a massive statement from Ipswich. We're here to stay.
Yeah, and what's going to make that even more impressive is what I'm about to say about Southampton. We haven't been paying attention. We've been saying, "Oh, Southampton's doing well." So they're on a 20-game fucking unbeaten streak. They are 15 wins and 5 draws. Their last loss was September the fucking 23rd. Sam,
Yeah. So
insane.
when you have your best player for the last, I don't know, 6 seasons, be Wish.com David Beckham, no tattoos, no beard, not quite as sexy,
Right.
still could whip an across.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, will it's only a matter of time. Will be the best set piece taker for goals in Premier
Yeah,
League history.
absolutely.
He will. He's one away
Yeah,
from
but
being the
you
leader.
you sell him on,
Yeah.
right? And all of a sudden you're free.
Yeah.
It makes total sense to me, because when you become so reliant on one player, it's like that mentality of playing through that one player holds everyone else back. It really does. When you move that player on and everybody feels like they can express themselves, you play more like a team. And that's what Southampton's doing.
22 goals between Armstrong and Che Adams so far this season. Like those two guys.
Scottish players do very well in championship.
Yeah, they
Well done.
always do. They always do. But
Very well done.
that's huge, and it's a lot of the reason why they're doing as well as they are. But Like you
Makes
gotta
for difficult getting out of the groupie in the Euros.
yeah, true. You gotta figure at some point. I mean, I hate to say it, at the rate that Southampton are going, Southampton will be the second promoted club.
Yeah, it does look that way. I want Ipswich to find a bit more consistency and not drop points. They have had a couple of draws of late that have kind of scuppered their kind of surprising run, to be honest with you, into second place. But they have sustained it for a majority of the season.
Right.
I'd like to see them stay there. We haven't had, Ipswich in the Premier League for a very long time.
Yeah, right near the 90s, I want to say it was.
It would almost be, for us at least, as, relative, kind of newbies, the league starting in 92, obviously.
Absolutely.
Us coming in the early 2000s would be a new team for us, really. Yeah. And I'd love to see them play on a more regular basis.
And all that being said, with Southampton in third, Leeds in fourth, hold serve, get the win over Preston 2-1, and West Brom ended up losing to Norwich, which actually makes their cushion now 5 from in fifth place to 9 points. Those 4 teams, the amount of points they're on, that's good enough for a normal season. Fourth place Leeds to be in first.
Yeah,
like it's insane how well those 4 fucking sides are doing right now.
Yeah.
It's just absolute insanity.
Well, but that's the thing. They were all recently, besides Ipswich, of course, recently in the Premier League with all that money, right? Mm-hmm. And the championship budgets just aren't there. You know what I'm saying? So coupled with the parachute payments and the TV money over the last few seasons, and Leicester not really selling a boatload of players since being relegated, it's not really a surprise that they're just better than everyone else.
Wouldn't that be a hell of a
That's what makes Ipswich's story so brilliant, to be honest.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be a hell of a note if the 3 teams that went down are the 3 teams that go right back up? I don't recall that ever happening.
I was just about to say that. I don't know that it has in at least recent memory.
And the 3 of them are all good enough to come right
I think
back
there was a chance when Villa was in the playoffs and lost in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. There was a chance for that to happen, but didn't.
Now, the other thing, too, that's worth mentioning, if those 3 teams come right back up, like, seriously? Everton, you need to get your shit together. Palace, you need to get your shit together.
The other sad part, though, is the gulf between the have and have-nots will get greater if that happens.
Yeah.
Because they already have, 4 years of Premier League money, Leeds had, 2 or 3 or whatever it was. My phone fell out of my pocket. Sweatpants. I did the old Zoom call thing. I've got not very professional things down low. That thing's professional. I'm not saying that. My wife's a happy lady. Wouldn't have 3 kids otherwise.
Well, I mean, how professional is it? It's failed a bunch.
Just over-explaining at this point.
Haven't
That's
thrown
why it's funny.
Haven't thrown an old boy out there yet, have you there, stud?
Stop egging him on. We can't start this podcast any later.
So the old chap gets it done, all right? On a Tuesday through Sunday basis.
Well done.
Anyway, with that recent TV money, and now maybe they haven't managed it exactly correctly, but it's still a hell of a lot more money than championship clubs make. Yeah, they also have those parachute payments coming as well, which traditional championship clubs don't have.
Right.
Or perennial championship clubs don't have is probably more of a better word. If they come straight back up, that's another season, possibly 2, with the struggles of, say, Forest or Palace or Everton or whoever
those are
finds
exactly
themselves
those
in
those 3
those spots next year.
Brentford, if they sell too many people, like
Eventually,
Wolves, if they can't get their finances straight.
You think Brighton, you think Wolves, like the well at Brighton and Brentford at some point is going to have to dry up.
Well, it's
with all these weird young players that nobody can find.
And scouts
except
at Brighton,
for them, apparently.
And scouts at Brighton have been hired by other places. So, like, at some point, because it's not just players that gets bought by other teams. They go find those talent.
Yeah.
They go find those talented producers, and like So you start to wonder that could
Well, we did that to Dortmund, remember?
Yeah.
With Sven Mislintat.
Yep, absolutely.
That's a very keen point. It's not just coaches and players. You're absolutely right about that.
Let's go on to League One. The O's have had themselves a couple of fucking weeks here. Not just the win at Pompey last week, they also beat second place Bolton 1-0.
Come on.
They are now in the top 10. They are in 9th fucking place. Come on, you O's.
Come on, you O's.
Everybody loves the O's.
You're
Right?
goddamn right we love the O's. And, on a side note, real quick, I took a little bit of liberty in my feelings and just closed my eyes for a second because I knew it was going to happen when the Ravens played at M&T on Saturday. And I imagined that during the national anthem, the O was for Leighton Orient.
Oh, there
This
you
is
go.
what I did because baseball's back in the district, and I'm a DC fan through and through. So, I still have a soft spot for the Orioles. But
Right.
when they did the Baltimore O, was it Leighton?
Leighton. I'm
Leighton
talking about Leighton
Orient,
Orient. Everybody's second London club.
Then I came crashing back down to earth and realized I was watching American football again.
Yep. Bolton, with their loss, fell to 4th place, but they still have multiple games in hand, and it's really tight up there at the top. The other thing, Pompey got a big win at Fleetwood Town and hold on to the top spot. And the other thing to look out for is that there will be fixtures this weekend
For the teams,
that aren't in the FA Cup. So there's going to be makeup games on Tuesday. Then there's going to be so you're going to start to see, as we do these shows week to week, it's going to be some of us talking about teams that played, 2 games over the course of a week or 3 games over the course of 10 days, and other people who played 1. It's just how it
But
goes.
here's the thing: those are all 24-team leagues, right?
Yeah.
So they already have 6,352 league games they have to get through.
Precisely. Well, 24 in league. It's 20 in the championship, 24 in League One, 22
I think it's 24
in
in
League
the
Two.
championship as well.
No, it's 20.
Do you want to put money on that?
I could be wrong.
Do you want to put money on that?
No, I don't want to put money on that.
Because I'm 99.9%
But I know League One is
sure.
24, and I know League Two is 22. And in League Two, only 2 go down, get kicked out of the league. And in League One, 4 go down. League Two, 4 go up. Yes. No.
While you guys are discussing that, the infamous Shore Billy has checked in.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
And he goes, and here we have Sam Squared, a horrid nightmare from the island of Dr. Moreau. It's like Master Blaster from Beyond Thunderdome, except it's human T-Rex hybrid in a Pickford jersey and half-tamed halfling.
Oh, by the way, that's a DCL jersey tonight. Not a Pickford jersey.
That's a DCL. This one is a DCL jersey. You just didn't say it in the microphone, so I was just reiterating.
Very good. Very good.
I heard DSL jersey,
Dick sucking lips?
and here I'm out.
All right. And go ahead, championship.
24 teams.
There you go. So there you
you.
go.
I mean, Sam, we do a podcast about this league. You should probably know how many teams are in the league.
All right, great. On to League Two.
said,
They
"All right,
had very few
I'll learn it
matches.
when we're down there, Mel. That's what he said.
As most were postponed due to weather conditions. The most notable matches were Wrexham losing at Newport County 1-0 and 4th place Barrow losing at Crewe Alexander 3-1.
Yeah, those are kind of damning results, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's not great.
Well, especially for Wrexham, that's a chance. That was a chance to go into first.
Exactly.
chance to go into first.
It's definitely a chance blown. What is good, obviously, is that they're still there.
Right.
They're thereabouts.
First, second, third.
Correct.
Second, third
That's all that
automatically
fucking
go
matters.
up.
That is
Fourth has to do the playoff.
all that matters.
Yep.
What I will say is I will find it very funny to avoid a further financial fair play situation when Mushiri has to sell the underfield heating at Goodison Park.
Yeah, got it. To Wrexham, so they can have under the field heating.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to a quick look at the League Cup matches. The second legs of both semifinals are being played during the midweek, so one of them will already have been played by the time we release this show, and the other one will be being played the day of the show. But the first one will be Chelsea are at home to Middlesbrough, down 1-0 in the first leg.
Yeah. Chelsea did not have a good outing that first leg.
No.
And Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough are playing very, very well at the moment, despite a very slow start. I mean, we saw this with a couple of Premier League teams as well.
Yep.
With Bournemouth and to an extent Wolves, where this new manager comes in and they have to. It just took them a bit of time to get their ideas under their belt and really wrap their heads around it. But now it's paying dividends,
And
right?
Carrick is played at the Bridge in hostile territory.
Oh yeah, multiple times.
The bulk of his career,
And
he's fully
Chelsea,
prepared.
Chelsea, this will be a competition they are focused on because
They need to be in Europe. They need to be in Europe.
They will
gotta be in Europe.
They will guarantee themselves a McRib Cup.
And they ain't getting into Europe if on the regular season. They're not. They're not going to finish in the top 7.
Correct.
And then the other one has Wednesday with Liverpool traveling to Fulham up 2-1 in their second leg. But you're in Fulham's building. Fulham's got good defense. They can make it ugly.
The only problem is that they okay, so it's a two-sided coin, right? Craven Cottage isn't exactly a cauldron.
No, it's not.
Is it going to intimidate Liverpool?
No.
Not really.
But what I'm
Liverpool are 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League, and now may not have Mo Salah for a month. So it becomes a lot more attractive. And also Luis Diaz, we'll have word yet how long he may be out.
You might have to rest Jota.
Or you might have to rest Nunez, or both.
Yeah.
You might have to go, okay, Gakpo, it's on you alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have Curtis Jones, and you have Curtis Jones went off hurt, didn't he?
Well, and Curtis Jones
tweaked a hamstring
had
or
to
something.
play because you got Enzo's away at Asian Cup.
Correct. So you run it, and Trent Alexander-Arnold I don't think will be fit for this game either. So you do run into a situation with being 5 points clear at the top of the league. Liverpool might go, yeah, I don't really fancy this. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Klopp might rest players, to protect them for the league, so he's not a one-hit wonder.
He may tell them to go out there and get a 0-0 because a 0-0 advances them.
Yeah. So, well, very true. So his back 6 or so, kind of 2 defensive midfielders in a back 4 may be unchanged to preserve continuity, and he may just forego the attack.
Right. And just go.
Very, very true.
I just got to get out with the draw.
Didn't even think about that.
I don't have to win.
Yeah.
I don't have to win this game.
But it is windy on the River Thames, and you never know what's going to happen in the wind.
Well said. The remaining FA Cup replays got done, and Everton beat Palace 1-0 on a sexy free kick from a sexy fucking man.
Andres Gomez.
Right off the post.
Fucking well done.
Oh, it was, and there was
It's a wee little Portuguese kiss.
and there was nothing else in that match.
No.
At all. Like you had said on the main show, SA got subbed off at the 60th minute to a round of booze.
Yeah, it's like, what? Why even play the fucking game?
Yeah.
I can't. Isn't next year they stop replays altogether?
I think it is.
I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah, it just goes to penalties.
The
And it's not
replays
even-
are always
not even extra
worse.
time. It goes right
Straight
to
to
penalties.
penalties.
That is it. Straight to
God,
penalties like the
please.
League Cup.
I know that kind of hurts the lower league teams that are drawn against Premier League clubs or championship clubs, but it's like it just for everybody involved.
Well, honestly, Premier League club, if you're playing in their building, kick them some cash. Just kick them cash. Because normally you would have kicked them cash if they did the replay at your building. It's like, earn the cash. Just fucking kick them some cash. Give them some stadium upgrades. Hook them up. Just hook them up.
Excuse me. So let me. So what I'll say about that in general, the higher clubs, the richer clubs, do have a responsibility to take care of the grassroots.
Yep.
And the lower league clubs, and the reason English football is brilliant is because all 4, even the National League. So you take the top 5 tiers, it's all incredibly supported by the fans. Right?
Yeah. Those,
You have
National
to do-
League teams
you
will
have
have
to do something.
10,000. Wrexham has 10,000 fucking fans going to matches.
You have to do something for these clubs, right? And in the FA Cup, typically, if the Premier League team is at home, the higher league team is at home, they'll give the gate receipts to the lower league team.
Yeah.
Arsenal played at Sutton, beat the shit out of them. They
Built them a stand.
Built them a stand or a classroom for their local programs, and then help replace their pitch or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly what it was. A fair few years now. So do that kind of shit, Like, that's great. That helps. That alleviates the pressure on the owners and everything else, and makes their facilities better. And well done. That's good. But I just can't be fucking asked about doing replays again. There's already too much football. And over the last 2 weekends, we've only had to cover 5 games each. Excuse me. We've only had to cover 5 games each weekend. Despite a couple of shit performances, these 2 weekends were much better football than the entire festive period.
Mm-hmm.
So the argument for less football gets greater and greater every time we do these wee breaks.
Yeah, fair, very fair. Keeping it rolling, the Wolves got past the Bees on a late extra time penalty kick from Cunha, because in these replays, you play the fucking 15s, the 2-15. So if it's drawn at the end, you got to add another 30 minutes to the fucking game for these guys. Again, probably a little too much football. Cunha wraps it up, and that will take care of the Premier League, the all-Prem fixtures, where it was head-to-head with Prem sides. The other Prem clubs saw Forest and Luton advance, but West Ham getting ousted by Coventry at Coventry 1-0.
That was if that was at the London Stadium, Coventry would have been down to 10 men, possibly twice, except for it was the same player that fucked up.
Right. Oh, no VAR.
No, but
No
they were
yep.
They were in Coventry Stadium, so there wasn't
no
any VAR.
Yeah.
But Lee Westward was his name or something like that,
Yep.
or Weston something. I can't remember. It was in the middle of the park. An abhorrent tackle for me, akin to Rian Brewster. Not as bad as Rian Brewster, but akin to that sort of tackle. He should have been sent off for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
Definite red card.
Agreed.
In that game. What I will say also, I forgot to mention this on the main show.
Somebody was on paternity leave and watched that game because he was sitting around the house doing nothing but holding his kid.
Yeah.
I called it.
Fair. What I will say, though, about the Wolves game, unfairly, I think, and X, we all know, is a wonderful place for information and truth sharing. There was a few reporters that gave Gary O'Neill a hard time during the press conference. Oh, you've been drawn against West Brom, in the next round. There's a Black Country derby in the next round. What do you think?
We're talking about that.
I know. But he did the whole, like, we've got a big game at the weekend. And the backlash from West Brom fans was very unreasonable. I don't know if you saw that. It was just like, he doesn't give a fuck about us. He thinks we're a small club. Da, da, da. It's like, you're acting like a small club, you dickhead.
He does have to worry about the fucking Premier League game that's in front of him.
2 Premier League games that were in front of him.
Then they can worry about everything else. Like,
What are you talking about? It was fucking weird, man.
And then the championship sides, Norwich and Birmingham City, also advanced. And League Two side, Newport County, defeated 6th Division Eastleigh 3-1. Now, I'm sorry, 5th Division National League side Eastleigh 3-1. Eastleigh was up 1-0 in their building and lost 3-1.
It's frustrating.
Making Maidstone the only non-league club left. Newport gets visiting Manchester United this weekend. Mr. Graham, if Eastleigh could have just held on, Manchester United would have had to gone to National League side Eastleigh.
Yeah. And nothing would have...
Actually, this arm, because this one's already covered up with this arm right here, just insert... Oh, my God, would I have killed for that?
Yeah, because nothing would have annoyed Bruno Fernandes more.
Oh, my God, yes.
Playing on that potato patch, it would have been fucking brilliant. I love everything about that.
Although Newport County, not exactly the nicest pitch either. Remember, them and West Ham, the standing water and the fireworks and all that shit.
Oh yeah, and then the when Man City went there, and Newport had 0-0 to the 35th minute or whatever it was. And Man City had to resort to playing over the top because they couldn't play football on that pitch.
Newport County, host of multiple monster truck rallies. Let us not forget the important facts. Multiple, not one. One's already too much to have on your football pitch. Multiple. watching Michael Antonio
it's-
running down the sideline and the ball stopping because it was standing water in the corner.
Well, it's like oh fuck, who was it a couple years ago? I can't remember who it was now. Played somewhere where the ball literally like would not roll straight.
Yeah. It's probably
There
it
was
was
like-
probably West Ham Newport County.
There was like through balls. It wasn't though. It was somebody else. There was like through balls that would literally take a hard right because it hit some crabgrass, like kind of thing. It was fucking weird, man.
fucking fabulous. Love it.
I love everything about that. Put that in my veins. Watching
All right.
these, and I don't agree necessarily that they're overpaid because of the sacrifices they have to make in their lives to be professional footballers. But to watch these load of rich cunts just crying constantly, it's brilliant.
They just can't handle it.
And not seeing everything catered and handed to them is fantastic.
Walk into the visiting clubhouse in their gear because, well, they can't change in there because it's a hard bench and a dirt floor,
yeah.
with a training table with 3 fucking legs. Like,
Love
the fourth
it.
leg's
Everything
there.
about
It's medically taped together. I'm sure it's sturdy. I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine. It'll be okay. Physio will ice you down. You'll be great. Don't even worry about it.
I love everything about it.
So
Put that right in my veins.
So, Mr. Graham, any parting words?
Not really for this one. Just it's your last chance to see some of these lower league clubs in the FA Cup. I'm sure. Sadly, this is normally the round where we see the rest of them bow out.
Ooh, Graham,
Typically.
I'm gonna hold it on as a teaser for the next show, but I can tell you exactly how many lower league clubs are left, and it ain't fucking much.
Right. So make sure you watch them. Tune in. Get them that TV money. Get them the ratings. Help support that grassroots football. And make sure you're kind of watching somebody you don't normally watch because that's the magic of the cup is seeing these teams perform on stages they ain't fucking used to.
Exactly.
And it's a joy. It's a ton of fucking fun.
All right, everybody. Next up is injury time, and as a present to everyone, it is going to be absolutely free, not our normal Patreon-based way of doing things, because we're going to be talking about the 4th round of the FA Cup.
Correct.
And there is a lot to fucking talk about. And Mr. Graham, should somebody want to find injury time, how do they go about doing it?
Normally, you would go to patreon.com/DU Football Show and sign up to that one beautiful $5 tier that gets you everything extra that we do. And once that happens, you'll just be in.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
No worries. And
But tonight, are we streaming it?
no, we're not going to stream it. Well, okay, yeah, maybe. Who
Maybe.
knows?
Maybe stick around.
Yeah, maybe stick around.
If
Mel's
the
giving
screen
us a
goes
wink.
black, download it tomorrow.
Or maybe we're going to end this event and then just pop up. and surprise
there you
people.
go.
So if you are not yet, make sure you are a member of the Drunkard United FC closed group, or you've liked DU Football Show on Facebook, X.
Yeah, because we're about to hit midnight.
What
our
is it?
time.
Twitch.
No, and everybody that's been watching so far, that's been commenting, I know are regular people with the DUFC group, so should be great. Just come join us over there. We'll be posting in just a minute.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Leave some mystery, guys.
Got it. Leave some mystery.
Ronnie A.
Till next week, everybody.
Ronnie A.